What's up? What's up? All right, let's go to work. I apologize for being late. Look, we got a little bit of a pullback in the markets. Volatility is on the rise. Today. All right. We got TVIX running at $300. We got to put this on. Man, we got to put this. Yeah. Look at this thing. Put this on watch today. TVIX, UVXY. All right, TVIX, UVXY. We're going to have a lot of volatility. The shakeout in oil is putting pressure on the markets, and it is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be nasty because, the market's obviously getting pumped hardcore. It's getting pumped like a wiener, but with the volatility increasing today, I think that we're gonna have to shred this thing. Yeah. All right. So look. If we look at the market, we got to pull back. We got a little bit of a gap down, 3% on the TQQs. If we're looking here, it's about 1.26% in the market. So the market itself is not gapping down a lot, but the volatility is ramping, so it's telling us something. Thank you. It is a creepy stash. I understand. I understand. But it is just what I gotta do. So, Jordan Axelrod. So let's talk about the watch list. With the market gapping down today, and I think we're gonna have just a volatile day. We got a handful of stocks I think are gonna run pretty well here. Man, Corey, I was trying to short that shop yesterday. Fuck that thing. All right, so this is my top plays for today. All right, and then we'll talk about everybody else's stuff. The shop. We'll watch this thing either for a green to red today or some kind of double top around this area. If it breaks over and it just starts to bust loose, we're going to really need it to speed up, meaning we're going to have to see just like a monster cock, right? A monster rip, and then we'll watch it fizzle out. I will say you're going to have to trade this one very small. I mean, if you were normally going to trade say 100, 200 shares, level in 25 at a time, because otherwise I think it's going to be like yesterday. I mean, I was just trading 100 shares of this shit at a time yesterday, and my P&L was fluctuating $1,000 every few minutes. It's a little bit it's a little bit rowdy. So, but watch this one. We're at an area of interest. It's ready to go. mRNA, I think these vaccine stocks, at some point, whether it's today or tomorrow, they're getting, the breakout was nice. There's no getting around that. But now we're up $20 on this thing. One more big push on this. Maybe we double top around 55. Or just one more kind of speed up on this one. I think we get a short. NVAX. Now this one is probably, mRNA is probably a real company. I mean, they got a $10 billion market cap. This NVAX is a turd. It's a turd with fleas. It's a turd. Look, sometimes when you take a dump, you like the smell because it's your own. But this thing's a turd it's your buddy's turd, which is not as fun, right? This is probably going to be, this one is going to be more likely to just roll over than mRNA, but they both hose for shows. So watch this one around 26. If it busts over 26, then we'll have to look for a different type of setup. I got them both on watch for potential shorts, though. It looks pretty good. This thing is right around 26 is going to be our sweet spot, all right? Oh, yeah. Now, on the other side of things, we got a blowout in oil, as you guys know. Look at the ETF for USO. This is the oil ETF. Look, there was something going on with like front contract, back contract. Who fucking knows? All right. But what we do know is that, you know, oil's getting smoked out. All the oil ETFs are getting smoked out. I mean, there's so many of them that just went to zero and are like not even trading. You know, this UCO was also a buck yesterday. They just did a reverse split. I think it's probably a stay away. You know, like I would rather trade individual oil names, like Oxy. I think is one you could put on your list if you need like a potential short. Fang is another one that's like right on a cliff here, where like if it busts under this level right here, I think it could fade off. It's not an easy trade. Like a lot of times, like you see something like, you know, the headline yesterday was, hey, oil's going negative, blah, 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 blah. And you're thinking like, oh shit, I should just buy some. Well, the problem is that when you want to buy something, there has to be like an instrument for it, right? And if the instruments are broken, like this USO or UCO, like these ETFs that people are using, if the instrument is broken, then the oil could be at the best price and it could be lathered on with whipped cream and titties, but if you don't have the whipped cream or the titties, then what are you going to do? You got nowhere to go with it. So that's the problem with oil right now is that, yeah, like, sure, it looks like a buy maybe. Who knows? Well, if something's at zero, of course it's going to be a buy. But, like, what's the instrument that you use to buy it? Because if they're broken, then there's not really anything you can do, you know? So, like, yeah, maybe we get a short out of this, like, SCO at some point. SCO is the ETF that shorts crude. But, like, look, oil was crashing yesterday, right? This is a 2X or 3X ETF. I mean, so SCO should have been up, like, 50% yesterday. But, like, it was up 11% yesterday. So, it's a broken instrument. You know, like a lot of people trade this Gush. Well, Gush was up. So Gush is it's a bullish ETF for oil. This motherfucker was up yesterday. How's that happen? This thing was up. So these instruments are broken. So I think that probably the easy play on oil is a no play. Unless you want to just play, hey Stephanie, how are you? Or Stefan, how are you? Unless you want to play a, you know, oil name. So I think, you know, I think you just play the stocks. You know, you can put Gush. Yeah, I don't know. I got a couple of these, but I think Fang, Oxy, you know, we can put these on the list. I just don't think we got an easy trade on them, to be honest. You know, I think on the other side of things, hey, some of these pot stocks, you know how I feel about these pot stocks, guys, you know, and pot heads. They stink. But you getting a nice, tight coil pattern here. I mean, this thing is, and this is tighter than a goose's caboose right here. Like, this thing is looking nice. If you bust over this 50 SMA, then we are good to go. 50 SMA, we are good to go. Man, I had a few thousand shares of this thing at the open yesterday. Sold a little early, but man, it was looking so good, like that midday, and then the market rolled over. But it still held up fairly well. I think CGC, we put it on the list. Like, I hate pot stocks, but these things look pretty good. If you look at TLRY, Theo brought this, you know, man, this thing is tight. Like, you know, you got a compression of range, which is really powerful. This thing is pretty tight here. I would, I'd keep these on the list. The thing with these bad boys is, too, is like they're getting these like MPCs like not come out of nowhere. they're coming out of patterns. Like when you look at like a stock on your watch list, all right? When you have a stock on your watch list, what you want to see always is like, will it, like when it has a pattern, just rip with an MPC? And if it does, then you've got yourself a stock you want to put on your watch list. So that's always where you need to go with this. Like, if I got a flag pattern or I got a VWAP pattern, when it comes out of it, does it come out and rip with a big MPC or not? You know, if it does, that's where we want to go, right? That's where we really want to go. So add both of these. They're going to have slightly weak opens. MPC means mega penis candle. Mega penis candle. That's the best kind of candle you can get. That's the best kind of candle you can get, the mega penis. So like you can see this one. This one also on the red to green, we're going to be good to go. So pot stocks, they're good, all right? We've got shop, it's good. Put mRNA on the watch list, it's good. For short, NVEX on the watch list, it's so good, all right? Then there's like some stocks that are like, and then, you know, I need you to put TVIX and UVXY on the watch list. These are going to have, we can't chase these things up at the open. TVIX, UVXY, they never work at the open. What you really want to do with these bad boys is like, let them pull back. And we missed the boat. You know, I apologize to you guys. We missed the boat on this yesterday. Like, it was just grinding here, and the market was fading off. Like, it was just grinding and holding, and then, you know, like, it came out of range here, and, right, it was off to the races. Like, we should have been balls deep on that thing. That was my bad. You know what? We hadn't had the longest for a little bit, so, like, I was off my game on it. But I'm on to the TVIX game again. I'm back on the train. Let's see if this thing pulls back at the open, fills the gap, and then we're gonna shred this thing for potential long. Man, look at this thing. UVX might have a little bit less range, might be a little bit easier to trade. Now on the earnings side, you can see there's some stocks with some news out. I think you put BYND on the watch list as long as it stays above 85. That's going to be your key level. If it could stay above 85, I think there'll be a day trade in this somewhere. So add BYND to the gapper list. It looks pretty good. You know, the rest of this stuff is crap. But look, you are seeing some big movements in these tanker stocks. So you got STNG, Fro. These are not like my particular cup of tea. I find that these kind of like tanker stocks are, man, they're notoriously tricky. They're notoriously tricky to trade. Like, there are times like you can have like a stock that's got a really good chart, you know, but it's just tough to trade. You know what I mean? It's just tough to trade. And I think these kind of stocks are tough to trade. So that's my focus list. You could add Roku on it if you want. That's a daily trader for us anyways. But I would go with the pots and the short the vaccines. Pots long, short vaccines, and then shop 2 and TVIX. That's the list, and I'm sticking to it. That's the list that I'm sticking to it. You know, I know you guys got some other ones here that you want to watch. BRZ, this is also really tied to oil, and it's a 3X ETF. Like, this thing could just get, you know, this thing could bust down, you know, into the ones. Space is something I do got on my watch list. It just needs to hold this 20 spot. I think the market might be a little bit too weak for it, but it looks, I think this one's going to have a chance. So let's go do what we do. Guys, as always, I'll be in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room. You guys are more than welcome to hang out with us in the Discord room. I'm going to be in video trading all day. We're going to shred. I apologize for being late today. I'll try to come on tomorrow, if not Thursday. Let's go do what we do, which is the do.